Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is a genuine investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, we do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the NextBridge Hydrocarbons Form 10Q that has been released. We're also going to be looking at ticker symbol RDHL, which has had some tremendous news with regards to Phase 3 results. We're also looking at news with regard to significant fear in the market of a recession. So before we get started, let's go straight ahead and look at what's happening in the markets. And on the chart here, we can see that the S&P 500 has fallen 140 points in 4 hours, erasing approximately $1.2 trillion of market cap. So the Dow Jones is also down significantly. If we have a look at that, it's down at time of editing, down 1%. Nasdaq was down 1.3% and the small cap 2000 was down 2.8% in terms of a huge sell-off. So in terms of recap from the previous day's market news, Jerome Powell did say in terms of a September rate cut, there is no decision, but in a broad sense that we are moving closer. So that did give a short-term rally to the markets. And as far as the Dow Jones is concerned, I believe right now it is on track for its biggest sell-off in 2024. So let's finish off here by having a look at the news with regard to earnings. So in terms of Amazon have just reported earnings. In terms of earnings per share, they beat expectations and they got earnings per share of $1.26. However, revenue was a slight miss at $148 billion, missing the expectations of 148.8. So Amazon share price I think currently down approximately 5%. And the other stock I'm going to share with you in terms of earnings is Apple. So overall it is a beat. So it's a beat on revenue, it's a beat on gross margin, operating margin, and it's also a good beat on earnings per share in terms of the reaction from the market. Again, I think Apple seems to be holding its price, but we certainly need a lot more good news in the market. Move on to have a look at the 10Q filing for NextBridge Hydrocarbons, and I did post about this and stated that they have issued their Form 10Q, amending and restating the consolidated financial statements. So we are going to look at these. So let's start with the Form 10Q. So we can see this has been released for the quarterly period ended March 31st, 2024. So in terms of some of the key highlights under the explanatory notes, first of all, this is just for the first 3 months of 2024, and it is the quarterly form. So in terms of the key amendment to the filing, they are restating the consolidated financial accounts. So we are going to have a look at those, and it relates to the impairment analysis with respect to the Oregon Day properties that were performed during the 2023 audit. So let's have a look at some key points that I've looked at. So I think what we can see here in terms of the balance sheet, what I've highlighted here in terms of some of the key figures, cash, they have currently cash just in excess of $2.1 million. Previously they had cash just in excess of $1.6 million. However, total current assets is now up to $2.78 million from a previous $2.08 million. So a little bit of an increase there. In terms of total assets, that's also up. Previously it was $2.19 million and now it's $3.09 million. So that's the overall total assets. So in terms of total current liabilities, previously just in excess of 49.1 million and now just in excess of 50.4 million. So overall total liabilities have increased by approximately $1.4 million. So if we now move on to have a look at the statement of operations, also known as profit and loss, we can see oil and gas and natural sales, these have declined and currently just in excess of $3,500 from a previous $10,900. So total operating expenses, these are also down quite significantly. Previously they were just in excess of $10.3 million, and that was mainly due to an impairment loss. That is now down significantly. So the overall expenses are down from $10.3 million to $1.5 million, just in excess of. So the overall net loss is approximately $876,000 compared to the previous $10.3 million. So obviously it looks like good news, but it's also not anywhere near significant in terms of revenue, and it's not anywhere significant near in terms of potential profitability, because they certainly are in need of cash. So let's have a look at details in terms of company operations with regard to the Rio Grande, and they can state here they operate the business through 9 wholly owned subsidiaries. So we can see them all there, ranging from Torchlight Energy, Hudspeth, we have the Wolfborn, etc. And in terms of the Rio Grande project, which most people are aware of, these are obviously subject to the University Lands Agreement, and they allow for all 192 existing leases covering approximately 134,000 gross acres, and that can be combined into one drilling and development unit for development purposes. In terms of the agreement, that expires on December the 31st, 2024, so not long to go, probably just approximately 6 months, and the time to drill and development continues through to December the 31st, 2024. So the rights can extend through to this December 31st, 2028. So that is very significant that the company achieved that, and that will give them compliance. So obviously they expect to exercise the option to extend, so that's positive, and the leases are also covering approximately 134,000 acres will remain in effect. So the drilling obligations under the agreement are going to cover 5 wells for 2024, so I certainly hope the company can continue to be compliant with that. In terms of the current projects, obviously they state here they're an energy company engaged in the acquisition, exploration and exploitation on development of oil and natural gas properties in the US, primarily focusing on the acquisition of early stage projects such as hydrocarbons, which we know it is, and then the monetization of those assets once the activities are completed, i.e. drilling. So the primary focus is on development interest in oil and natural gas properties in the Permian Basin. So the company had an interest in 4 oil and natural gas projects that we know about, and what we're going to now look at finally is information with regard to the going concern. In terms of the notes at the bottom here, I'm highlighting here, we've looked at the net loss just in excess of 876,000, and what the company have stated, they expect to incur further losses in the development of the business. The company had a working capital deficit of just in excess of $47.6 million, and they have stated here for requirements of reporting, the conditions raise substantial doubt about the company's ability to continue as a going concern. So cash is going to be needed, and I'm hoping they can use the S1 as a potential avenue for that. And the ability to continue as a going concern continues and will depend on future profitable operations to obtain necessary financing and obligations. So what are the management doing? So the management's plans include, number 1, potential debt financing or equity funding, obtaining loans, and they're also participating in joint venture transactions. So I think the joint venture transactions for me is certainly the most appealing, because that will have limited costs. And let's finish up by having a look at some RDHL, also known as Redhill Biopharma. So this is a stock that was called live in our biotech channel in the Discord when it was trending up. There was news with regard to phase 3 data, which we're going to have a look at, and at that time it was up close to 60%, and if we have a look at how it's finished, it's closed up very close to 100% on the day. It's also up in excess of 5.86% in the post market, trading at a price currently of around about 76 cents. So great news there for RDHL and everybody who managed to get into that. So in terms of the actual company, this is a biostock company. It's focused on gastrointestinal and infectious diseases, and they do promote a number of drugs including Talicia. So let's have a look at the news with regard to what was happening in terms of phase 3. So the new published positive phase 3 data demonstrated 64% increased efficiency with the company's RHB 104 in Crohn's disease. So overall, good news, and we can see here that what they've stated here in the press release is the groundbreaking data shows that the drug contains antimicrobial biotherapy directed against the illness, and that typically infects cattle, appears to be effective for the treatment of Crohn's disease, potentially opening up a new avenue of therapy directly against its possible cause. So positive news there, and we can see in terms of from a shareholder point of view, the Crohn's disease market currently valued approximately $13 billion in 2023, so I do expect that also to grow. So the phase 3 study from randomized double-blind placebo-controlled 331 patients in Crohn's disease was published, and the results are positive and conducted across more than 100 sites. So overall great news here for RDHL. So if you would like to get more breaking news of other stocks, as well as get a copy of our daily stock alerts and weekly watch list, details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.